Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about monopolist firms' choice as a profit maximizing firm. First, we need to understand how the profit is calculated. Like any other firm, monopolist profit is also calculated as total revenue minus total cost. So, monopoly has two goals, either to maximize revenue or to maximize profit. In the previous video, we have seen when firm maximizes revenue. That is, when the fixed costs are more as compared to variable cost. Whereas firm chooses to maximize profit when variable costs are higher as compared to or significant as compared to fixed cost. Monopoly firm decides a quantity, how much quantity to produce when it is maximizing profit based on the marginal analysis. So it will decide optimal quantity where marginal revenue is greater or equal to marginal cost. Although we used a similar concept in pure competition, the difference here is in pure competition, marginal revenue was equal to price, whereas in monopoly, marginal revenue is not equal to price. Now, let's look at an example here. We want to, in this case, I'm giving output and product price and also total cost. If you look at output and product price, as output increases, product price is decreasing, that representing the demand. And we also give the total cost. As output increases, total cost is increasing. Based on this, we want to answer three different questions here. One is how many units of output to produce, and what should be the price that firm should be charging here, and finally, what is the profit that firm is receiving. So the rule here, remember, we need to figure it out where marginal revenue is greater or equal to marginal cost. That means we need marginal revenue and marginal cost. To get marginal revenue, we actually need total revenue, RTR. So that's first thing I'm going to calculate here. Total revenue is price times quantity. We have price here and we have the quantity, our output is given here. So for 0 units, we don't calculate, or it's 0 basically. For 1 unit of output, price is $30. That means 30 times 1, total revenue is 30. 25 times 2, total revenue is 50, and so on. Here it comes 60. 60 when firm produces 5 units, total revenue is 50. Now, when you are calculating marginal revenue, again for 0 units, you don't do it. And for the first unit onwards, every time you produce 1 more unit, we have to see what is the extra revenue. The extra revenue here is 30. For the second unit, extra revenue is 20, 50 minus 30. Third unit, extra revenue is 10. Fourth unit, as you can see, total revenue is not changing. So that means extra revenue is 0. If you produce fifth unit, extra revenue is dropping by 10. That means negative 10. Now let's calculate marginal cost. Marginal cost is change in the total cost. So for 0 units, again, we don't have anything. For first unit, change in the total cost is 5, 130 minus 125. Second unit, that is 8. Third unit, as you can see, that's 10. Fourth unit, it's 12. And fifth unit, it's 20. Now let's see this condition. Marginal revenue greater or equal to. So here it's greater, here it's greater, it's exactly equal. If you go anything beyond that, it's not going to satisfy. That means you need to stop here. So what is the output, or how many units the firm is going to produce? That is going to be 3 units here. What is the price the firm is going to charge? At 3 units, price is going to be $20. That means by producing 3 units, it's influencing the price to be 20. What is the profit? Profit is total revenue minus total cost. So total revenue at 3 units is $60 and total cost is 148. That gives us overall profit in this particular case. As you can see, this firm is actually making loss. That means monopolist, it is possible, although there is only one firm, it can actually have losses. Why is it operating then? When you have fixed cost, if your loss is less than the fixed cost, you can actually continue to produce. That's exactly the monopoly firm is doing in this case. Now let's look at the efficiency analysis when it comes to monopoly. Okay, so for that, we're going to look at few questions here. First, how much output, what is the price monopolist will charge and what is the quantity? And in pure competition, if it were a pure competition, what should be the price and quantity? And finally, we want to see consumer and producer surplus in monopoly and also consumer and producer surplus in pure competition. So to start with, first I'm considering pure competition. Okay, so price in pure competition. Okay, so if it is pure competition, price has to be greater or equal to marginal cost. Demand represents price. So if I apply that one, the equilibrium point comes, the price to be P2. So that's the line I'm looking at, and the quantity to be Q2 here. When it comes to monopoly, monopoly quantity produced comes where marginal revenue greater or equal to marginal cost. That is happening um, at this particular point. Okay, so that means the quantity produced comes as Q1, but the price has to come from the demand curve. So to get the price, take it all the way here and look for the price, which is going to be P1. Now, consumer surplus in pure competition. So if it is pure competition, you simply have to take the price and whatever the area that comes below the demand curve, that's what represents the consumer surplus. In this case, that area is ABGHC. Whereas producer surplus comes the area below the below the price line and above the supply curve. That is going to be DEF. Now let's look at the consumer surplus in monopoly. If it is monopoly, price is here and the quantity is here. That means the consumer surplus above the price and below the demand curve, which is A and B. As you can see, consumer surplus falling because the price is increasing. Whereas producer surplus is going to be below the price line and above the supply curve. Supply curve is represented by marginal cost here. Okay, so based on that, this is going to be D and E. Now, finally, if you're looking for efficiency loss, what's happening here is compared to pure competition, this particular triangle area is left out from the consumers and producers. This particular area, we show it as efficiency loss that can be shown as C and F. That means anytime you move away from pure competition, the market is always going to lead to less efficiency. When there is less efficiency, it actually creates efficiency loss. That's what we are looking in this. Now, let's look at another example in this case. Okay, so in this example, I'm giving the graph and asking you to figure it out in terms of number values. So first we want to look at what is the output produced by the monopolist. Again, the rule is same. Monopolist will produce where the marginal revenue is greater or equal to marginal cost. When you have graph, you can actually find the equal point. This is the point. At this point, quantity produced actually comes 10 units, whereas the price, you don't take the $6. You have to get the price from the demand curve. That means take it all the way here and the price is going to be $10. Now, what is the total profit? Profit is going to be total revenue minus total cost. Total revenue, you have to take price times quantity. Total cost, the way we calculate here is average total cost times quantity. So price times quantity, 10 times 10, total revenue is 100. Average total cost, I have to see exactly at 10 units. That comes between 6 and 9. Okay, so roughly I can take maybe 7.5. So 7.5 times quantity is 10. So total profit in this case comes as $25. Now, next question we want to see is, suppose if the producer lost monopoly power, what happens to the market and what will be the price and quantity? If he's lost monopoly power, it actually reaches pure competition. If it is pure competition, price has to be equal to marginal cost, or price is greater or equal to marginal cost. That happens at this particular point. So that means price will be $9 and the quantity will be, as you can see, 13 units. That means if monopoly, the quantity was only 10 units, quantity has increased. the price was $10. That means price has decreased going into pure competition. Now, what is the efficiency loss? As we have seen in the previous graph, efficiency loss is this particular triangle. This is the triangle that is formed between the quantities of pure competition and monopoly. So triangle area, we take half times base of it going from here to here, which is 10 minus 6. And the height of the triangle is simply difference in quantities, that is 13 minus 10. If you do this, I think it comes about $6. That's what is the efficiency loss in this particular case. Now, conclusions about monopoly in terms of efficiency. So, overall efficiency in monopoly is actually decreasing. Okay, so that means total surplus is not maximized. That's what we show it as efficiency to decrease and leading to efficiency loss. Now, looking from the other efficiency point of view, it doesn't achieve allocative efficiency. Allocative efficiency is using the resources in best possible way. That happens when price is equal to marginal cost. But monopoly doesn't have price equal to marginal cost. Since price is greater than marginal cost, it leads to under allocation of resources. Last one here is productive efficiency, producing goods in least cost way. But monopoly doesn't lead to productive efficiency because you don't see price exactly equal to minimum average total cost. That means overall, compared to pure competition, monopoly is the least efficient market because it creates inefficiency in terms of efficiency loss or deadweight loss, and also it leads to allocative inefficiency and productive inefficiency.